side just a little bit. Everybody plug into the main power. Lenny, go ahead and plug into the main power.
Is it going to blow up when we hit the button? Everybody hold on to the line to see which one gets shocked.
Is everybody confident in what they've done? It should all work, right? 1, 2, 3. Yay! Everybody's lights are lit up.
Wait a minute.
What did I do?
Their whole line. He must have screwed it up when he cut the line in the middle.
Because he doesn't listen. All right. Now, we're troubleshooting. Because what we didn't do is add the connection, turn it on and test. Add the connection, turn it on and test. What we did was we wired up the whole house, and then we plugged it in, and then we got some connection here that's not working for whatever reason, and we got some connection back there. Whoa, no, so none of you guys are working, right? All right, so he's an individual bulb that's not working, and this is y'all. Is it y'all's whole row? Yep. Oh, wow. All right, you really messed something up, Marshall. You won yesterday. You won your football game. You got all confident. You drank too much beer, and you weren't paying attention to that trainer. Look, guys, this is going to happen at a job site. This is why this tool right here, where we can make our cut, add our plug, and test it, we're good to go. So, let's start with the one bulb that's not working. Okay? Now, is it a loose bulb? That's going to be your number one callback. That's going to be the number one thing as you're plugging them into the roof and you turn it on, it's not working. Okay? So, one way that we are going to test is the bulb right beside it is working. So this bulb works, this plug works. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten our bulb onto whatever, and we're going to take that bulb and that socket line, and we're going to test. Okay, now it is working. So what we've realized is it's not this male plug, it's not the bulb or anything like else. We've isolated it to this one plug. Now, before you start fucking around with it, all right, turn it off, okay? Something's going on with that plug. We got two options, okay? We're up on a roof, we're 2-3 stories in the air, okay? We can just snip it and redo it. Or we can try to take it all apart. There's many ways that we can address this. But for the sake of the class, let's look at the plug. So let's go ahead and pop it off.
The best are at
Man, that got quiet.
tools.
Yeah, because you messed something up, man. What'd you mess
Christmas
up?
lights that I always
All
flash
right,
tools.
I
now,
was framed.
we can look at two things. Look at the wire, and it should have a pierce on one side and a pierce on the other. You seen a pierce on one side or a pierce on the other?
There's only one pierce.
There's only one pierce. So sometimes the wire wasn't laid flat when we add the plug. So it doesn't make connection. Or the plug could be bent, right? So we know it has something to do with this. It's not made a good connection. A lot of times you just simply need to lay it flat and try it again, or just shift it down an inch, because watch this, watch this. I'll turn it on. You see this wire? I'm not getting shocked, okay? Even though there is a hole right there, I'm okay. Now you're going to deal with my spit on the wire. So we could slide it down,
It's better than
okay, and try it again. But one thing we need to look at that. You see those two teeth?
Yep, it's missing more.
Oh, it's missing a tooth. So we only made a connection on one side because we had a faulty plug.
Sometimes the faulty plugs from China, and they will be on the same side.
So when I'm adding my plugs, one thing I am looking at, and if it's at night, I got a little headlamp. I am always looking at these, and I'll make sure that they're not bent, because if I try sliding the cap on from the opposite end, the closed end, I'm trying to push it all the way past, it's going to bend the point down, and it's not going to pierce my wire. Okay? Or if the whole thing's missing, because China clips, China plugs, it's all made in China, one's missing, it will never work. Now, the real bad thing is if they're both on the same side. So, if we were to look at this, there's supposed to be one on the left, one on the right. If they're both on the left or both on the right, when you do that, it's going to short out your whole line. It's going to trip it. Or it's going to melt it, one or the other. So I'm always looking at my plugs to make sure I'm good to go before I make that connection. That's something that I'm always glancing at. Now, the real cool thing is let's actually do the one that you did yourself. And Chip's a good sport, okay? So he did it right the first time. So, this plug is bad, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down and I'm going to try to fix it, right? I'm not going to put it back in my truck, okay? This thing is not going back in my pouch, but it's getting out of here. Now, another thing that we could have done, because we don't want to fiddle around that stupid plug or whatever, we could have just cut it, got rid of it, put a new one out, and kept going. Because we're 2-3 stories up in the air. Are we going to do some detective work, Sherlock Holmes, 2-3 stories up in there on the roof? Okay. That was isolated to that one instance. Now, down here, your bulb isn't working, or the bush isn't lit up, or something like that. However, the one right beside it is also not working. So we are going to backtrack until where it is working. So our power starts up here and is flowing this direction. This is working fine. This is the first point that is not working fine. So what do we think it is?
Check the female plug off the main line.
All right, how do we do that? Do we go ahead and take it apart right now?
Take our test bulb.
No, you leave your power on. All we do is we unplug it. You take your tester bulb that we know is guaranteed will work. That's why we have this little tester bulb. Because the last thing I want to do is take this stupid thing apart, and then it's actually the male plug. So then I got to take that stupid thing apart and redo it. So that's where I know that this will work. Let's start with this female plug right here. Guess what? It doesn't work. That tells me that the line is cut, that blah, 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 but it's working right there. It's a solid line. Okay, I could say it's probably this female plug. Right? Everybody see how we troubleshooted that? We worked it back to our first place. We know that this works because it's our tester bulb. It's not working right here. So I'm not even going to mess with this line right now. I'm not going to start taking that apart. I'm going to focus on this one line. Go ahead and take that off. Now, doesn't matter. Can we do this live? Yes or no? Who says yes?
So I'll come out here in the shop where we also do our in-person training. And we have the roof here where we can do the pitch hopper, show how you can climb up a 12-12 pitch. We got the goat where you can use it there. We have a 12-15 foot tree. And so we can show how to put lights on a tree, even if it's raining outside like it is today. We got some small trees for bushes, and so that way we can show. We also have another roof prop, so you can see how to walk up a 12-12 pitch. Also, we show how to add anchors to a roof. We also have our training area in here where we show you how to put lights, whether it's on gutters or if it has gutter guards. And this way it is all within reach of being at 4 or 5 feet. We also can go across here. We show how to, whether you do them on top of the gutter or we set them underneath the gutter. If you live up in the north, how you can do that. We show how to get up them on the peak, run our power down. We have columns here, which they got the twinkly lights. They will be coming off at the end of the day, but so then that way we can show you how to wrap columns, wrap garland. We wrap garland even using the no strap or the strapped ones, so that way you can do this. While you're doing all this stuff, you can get pictures of you working, so you can put them on your Google My Business. We got a 10-foot or 6-foot reef here, 7-foot reef, and so you can get a picture with you in that. And so this is how the in-person class works down here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you want to buy stuff, you can go to christmaslights.io, and this is all stuff for sale for Christmas lights. He's got a whole nother container coming in tomorrow too. But Donovan himself does $500,000 in Christmas lights, and so these are all his customers for Reese. And then that whole back wall is all of Donovan's customers. That's about how much space a $100,000 or a $500,000 takes up. It's about 20 feet up in the air, all the way down through there with the wreath, and that is how much it takes up. So I just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what you get when you come down here to the in-person training. Again, we have all the tools, the Ridge Hopper, the Ridge Pro, the pitch hoppers. We let you get up on it, stand on it, see how it works, everything along the way. H2O has taken the class. How you doing? He did very well his first year doing Christmas lights. Did $30,000, $40,000 right out of the get-go. 50, I don't remember what he did, but you can see how this works for the Christmas lights in-person training. I'll go back in here for a few minutes and see what Donovan's talking about. Did 58,000 his first year after coming here and training in September or October.
We get some little tangle, I'm just jiggling it. So I'm gonna come out to the house here. All right, this is my main power line that I run up to the gutter, the first story or something like that. Okay, add a female plug right here. I'm gonna add my male plug. Okay, look at that, we're good. All right, plug it into the main power. All right, all my bulbs, so hold that for me. Clip it onto the gutter, clip onto the gutter, clip onto the gutter, clip onto the gutter, do 4 or 5 feet, reach back, tighten, 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 tighten. Oh, that's loose. When I touched it, it came loose. Y'all see that? I don't want that to happen on the ground because I'm going to start jiggling and wiggling it, it's going to come loose. So I'm tightening, tightening. All right, clip, 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 clip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tighten, 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 tighten. Go to the next clip, 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 clip. Tighten, 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 clip. All right, I'm at the edge of the roof. I need to make my cut. I go right here. Clip it onto the gutter, clip it onto something so that I don't drop my line. Okay. Come up here. You can see how where it would be really nice if these caps weren't all the way on. If it was right there out of this, it would have been as quick as doing that. Or you can use these, tighten them. Okay. All right, now we're good to go. Turn it back on. Okay, now I'm going to run my power wire up to the next gutter. I'm going to go drop down to a bush, and so it's going to be, I'm at my next section. All right, now we do male plug. This one doesn't work, male plug, what's going on? Get out my tester ball, plug it in. This is fine, the female that I just made is fine. Maybe the male that I just put on isn't working. Okay?
See y'all later. Go check out
Make sense?
ChristmasLights.io
Is
for
everybody
Christmas
following
lights or
the
training.
flow of electricity, or did that answer your question?